The hearings on and the order reserved. As we wait for the verdict on Shringar Gauri Temple Gyanvapi Mosque case, the claims and counterclaims over the truth of shivling, existence of temple and demolition of structure continue to circulate.
Court, after hearing both the sides, have reserved its order, and the judgment will be pronounced on a small footing that what will be the next procedure in this matter.
The controversy keeps gaining momentum with political and religious statements by leaders of different parties and groups.
बीजेपी को अगर कोई नजर नहीं आता, खाली मुगल नजर आता है इनको। अब आप बताइए कि क्या बादशाह अशोका ने लोगों का कत्ल नहीं किया? बादशाह अशोका ने हजारों लोगों का कत्ल किया। बोलो आरएसएस वालों, अशोका के बारे में तुम्हारी राय क्या है?
But can comparing historical figures exonerate the acts of the past? Will all leaders abide by the court of law, or will the controversy continue? Let's debate.
And let me introduce my guests on Burning Question tonight. I have the national spokesperson of the BJP, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, joining us. We have Karan Verma, he's author and political analyst, joining us on Burning Question. I have Talha Amir Rashidi, who's the spokesperson for Rashtriya Ulema Council, live from Lucknow. And I also have Tausif Ahmad Khan, who's an advocate and political analyst, joining us on the Burning Question. And let me begin, Talha, if I can begin with you and Gopal Krishna Agarwal. It's not just about Aurangzeb. It seems that everything is about Aurangzeb is being exonerated. Everything is being put to a different level. Just because you want to exonerate Aurangzeb, you would even bring Owaisi Saab is bringing King Ashok into the debate now. Is this required, Talha?
The question here is what is required? Why are we going into past, digging the past? As Supreme Court has already passed a verdict in the Babri Masjid case, when the Supreme Court has clearly mentioned that the historical wrongs cannot be undone, but the country cannot be dismayed discussing the historical wrongs or whatever happened in the past. We should look forward, and for that reason, the Places of Worship Act 1991 was upheld by the Supreme Court. Now the question is that why the RSS and the BJP are so much obsessed with the Mughals? Why are they so much obsessed with the Aurangzeb? Why are not they talking about the destruction done by the Britishers? The Britishers were more...
no, I thought the obsession was on the other side, Talha. I thought the obsession was on the other side. It was the junior Owaisi who went to the Dargah offering namaz. It was the junior Owaisi who went to Aurangzeb's mazar. The obsession is on the other side. And at a time when this entire topic is being discussed repeatedly, and they're talking about the barbarism of Aurangzeb, of him bringing down the temple, you're going to his mazar. What is the message that is being given?
Mr. Akbaruddin Owaisi went to the mazar of Aurangzeb Rahmatullah Alayh. What's the big deal in it? What's wrong in it? He is a part of our history. Mr. Advani, who was the face of the BJP, went to the mazar of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who is called as the person who led to the partition of India. Why was there no question asked to the BJP on Advani's visit to Mr. Jinnah's mazar? Aurangzeb Rahmatullah Alayh was a respected ruler of India.
Okay. But Mr. Advani always stood by the fact that Jinnah divided the country. Would you hold by the fact that Aurangzeb brought down temples? He was an aggressor. He was an aggressor on the Hindus at that time. Will you also hold on to that fact? I'm just asking you a very direct question.
Okay. Now, what is the proof of that? Are there any proofs? There are certain right-wing historians who said that the temples were demolished. Are there any proofs? Are there any proof?
Okay, there is no proof. Gopal Agarwal, there is no proof that Aurangzeb was an aggressor. There is no proof that he brought down temples. Talha is asking for proof.
We don't know about
if there are proofs, where there are proofs that Aurangzeb has brought down the temple.
No. Talha, let's just listen in. Gopal Agarwal, what is the proof he's asking?
Temples and mosques.
The thing is that if there are proofs for Aurangzeb having demolished temples and brought down temples and built the mosque at that place, what the Dalai and other people will say, we will not accept the verdict of the court. Who are they to say that we will not accept the verdict of the court? Are they not bound by the Constitution of India? Are they not bound by the law of the land? The thing is that they will, when the argument is not favoring them as part of the history, they will say that we will not accept the history. When it is unfavorable at the law court of justice, then they'll say that we will not accept the order of the court. The thing is that first in this country, everybody will have to accept what is the historical fact. You cannot just for appeasement, issue of appeasement or the policy of appeasement, you cannot distort history. There was a sections of the people in the country from the ruling dispensation which indulged in modifying history to pursue the policy of appeasement. First, you have to correct the history. If the historical fact cannot be denied, they have to be recorded as history happened. Later on, we accept that whatever the court decision with regard to the current status, with regard to what will happen to that, with regard to who has the right to religious freedom in worshipping, etc., will be divided as per the constitution. Is the Muslim spokespersons, those who want to speak for Aurangzeb, etc., are accepting this position? Let us first correct the history, then let us leave it to the courts to decide on constitutionally who has the legal rights to the worshipping and other things. Unless these two things are taken into consideration, are put in the right perspective, nothing can just happen from the wish of Mr. Owaisi or Mr. Dala or some spokesperson for that community. The thing is, historical facts are to be recorded, and there are ample evidence
from the WhatsApp
University,
historical facts from the WhatsApp University.
There are ample examples.
No, let me get Tausif into the debate. Let me get Tausif into the debate. Tausif, you were trying to intervene, saying that he brought down temples as well as mosques. Is that what you said?
Yes, and Aurangzeb donated lands to hundreds of Hindu temples. About 178 hectares of land.
Then all the more reason that you should be very, very clear on the fact that he was a cruel emperor. He was a cruel emperor. He was an aggressor. Then why back him?
Aurangzeb also granted land to Kamakhya temple, and which is still on the display in British Museum. You see, the point is that a Muslim king granted land.
No, Tausif, I'm asking you if he was the man who brought down mosques as well, then you should not be supporting him. You should be saying, yes, he was an aggressor. He was a cruel ruler. This is what he did, and this is not part of our... Why should we exonerate Aurangzeb then? You come on to the right side. Come with Karan and Gopal Agarwal.
Okay, now let me see. Sucharita, this ruler Aurangzeb granted land.
One of your panelists, can I come in now?
Should we today stand and say that these are Muslim land, there cannot be any temple, let us build a temple? No, that will not happen, because we have a law which says that any building which is either a temple or a church or a mosque will remain so. If it was so on 15th of August 1947.
No, see, these are two separate issues, Tausif, these are two separate issues. And why do I say that, Tausif? Because talking about the 91 Places of Worship Act is a different story. But trying to exonerate Aurangzeb is a different story altogether. Why would you do that, Karan? That is my question. Why would he do that?
Sucharita, one of your panelists just mentioned Aurangzeb as Rahmatullah, very reverently.
Okay.
Now, he is the same Aurangzeb who beheaded his own brother and gave his father the head of his own brother. He is the same Aurangzeb who beheaded Guru Tegh Bahadur. He should be ashamed of himself when he reverently talks about Aurangzeb. As per his own account. Sir, would you behave in a civilized manner now? Let me speak.
And
We've heard
that
enough of
mosque
you.
cannot be today.
All right, Tausif, let Karan make his point, then I'll come back to you. Tausif, can we do that? Tausif, can we do that? Let Karan make his point, and we'll come back to
He's running
you.
his motor mouth.
Maybe in a minute or two, you would want to change your stand. Let's see. Just wait for a minute.
Ashoka killed 99
Karan.
of his brothers.
Aurangzeb, in his own
99 of
memoir,
his brothers,
Wasirat-e-Alam, confesses that he has given farmans to order destruction of so many temples. To Zuke-Babari, Aine Akbari, all these historical accounts tell us that in excess of 40,000 plus temples were lost. Today there is a demand for 3. If this is not a just demand, and if people like him are going to call Aurangzeb Rahmatullah, then this is a fight for the civilization of our country. We are here to reverently hold people like Abdul Kalam in high esteem, not people like Aurangzeb or Ishrat Jahan. When people like him talk about Aurangzeb, there will be a counter-polarization and people are going to demand their self-respect and esteem. This is exactly what this fight is for. As far as the Places of Worship Act 1991 is concerned, well, mosque does not come under a place of worship. You don't even know that. It is a place of prayer. Upasna. वर्शिप का हिंदी होता है उपासना. उपासना का मतलब होता है पास जाकर जिस जगह पे स्थान हो उस पे पूजना.
Upasana is a Hindi term. Worship is a
absolutely
English term.
Upasana is worship.
In the language.
It is prayer. No.
भावनाओं को समझो.
बिल्कुल नहीं. आपको इस्लाम नहीं पता है फिर. आपको इस्लाम नहीं पता. इस्लाम में निराकार ब्रह्म की पूजा होती है. Islam is there is a Faruqi judgment 1994 which clearly says masjid is not an essential part of Islam.
Worship है, इबादत है.
Worship नहीं है, prayer है.
Same. This all
Absolutely not. केवल और केवल आकार की पूजा हो सकती है. वो प्रार्थना होती है.
And one moksha only.
Now he's caught. Just because he's caught, he's going to keep on ranting.
So the point that Karan is trying to make, here is the theory that's coming from the Hindu side, and they are trying to say that the Places of Worship Act. It's called the Places of Worship Act. And there is no worship taking place. Is that what you're trying to say, Karan? Because this is precisely the petition that has gone into the Supreme Court today.
Chapter 4,
finish it quickly, then I'll come to you, Tala.
Chapter 4, verse number 48 of the Quran clearly states, Murti Puja sabse bada haram hai. वो एक शिर्क है. So, puja as a concept is banned in Islam. It is only a prayer, and that was attested by the Faruqi judgment of 1994. They are caught and they are in for a rude shock tomorrow, because this does not come under Places of Worship Act. They are in for a rude shock tomorrow.
What does come? Yes, are you talking about the fountain? Are you talking about the fountain? Yes, the fountain does not come under Places of Worship Act. The namaz is being offered.
I'm not talking about a fountain, I'm talking about a mosque. The mosque does not come under Places of Worship Act.
See, Tala, listen to me. Tala, what you're trying to do here is, you're precisely proving the point that the other side is trying to make fun of somebody's reverence. You're actually making that point hold true on the debate. Because what you're trying to say is, you're again and again saying fountain and you're laughing. And you're trying to prove that point that this is, it may be of reverence to the Hindu side, but we will keep mocking it. Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what you're trying to do, Tala? We'll keep mocking it. We don't care. We will keep calling it the fountain. Is that what you're trying to do?
Let me respond. I'm mocking on the point that
he's teaching, this gentleman is teaching at Islam. Says this fountain is a sibling, then people will ridicule it.
Okay, Tausif and Tala both speaking at the same time. We are not able to get what each is saying.
About the grants given by the Aurangzeb. I can point out the grants that were offered by Aurangzeb. Land grants.
No, why shift goalposts? I asked you a specific question, Tala. On camera, just a few minutes back, you were seen mocking somebody's reverence. I'm trying to put you back on point. What were you trying to do, saying it is the fountain and laughing? You think this is a laughing matter for all those Hindus who've gone to court for it? You think this is a laughing matter, Tala? You think you can mock someone's reverence? You think this is funny for you?
That's your presumption, that's your assumption. I said I was mocking
Where
his
is
knowledge.
the
It's not my presumption, sir. It was caught on camera. You're trying to mock someone. Someone's reference. No, it is not funny. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. And that is precisely what I'm saying, Tala. This doesn't become a mocking matter. This is a matter in court. And your attitude towards it makes me feel I really do not know if you're going to be upholding what the court says as well. Gopal Agarwal, am I wrong?
You can feel anything.
Yes, they are refusing. They are clearly saying that we will not accept the court verdict. First, they have to accept that they will accept whatever the court says. The court verdict will be acceptable. As BJP has clearly said that we are under the constitutional system. Whatever the court decides, we will abide by it. That has to be said by Mr. Owaisi and his people like those who want to say that the constitution will be upheld. First thing. Second thing is, whatever the court decide on the future course, but still we have to correct the history and record the history as it happened. If it is the question of Gyanvapi, we have to clear the air that whether the Gyanvapi mosque structure was built after demolition of the temple, and there are ample evidence that points toward this issue. Now it is required that those ample evidence be checked, and finally this is decided that whether Aurangzeb was the perpetrator of these atrocities and he has destroyed temple and built the mosque. Because this is established,
see,
court will come into picture that what will happen in the correct.
Okay, Tala, I'll get Tausif into the debate. I'll get Tausif into the debate, Tala. Tala, and I'm very... Tala, and I will just give you a piece of advice. This is not a mocking matter. So I think it's not about getting smiles to your face when you're talking about it. It may be a fountain for you. Please go ahead, but it is not a mocking matter. I would remind you this again. So let's not keep.
Try to teach me.
No, I'm just trying to give you a piece of advice. That's all. It's up to you. You give heed to it or you don't. It's up to you. I want to go to Tausif. Tausif, it's very clearly it's very clear that the Muslim side kept saying that the court, the lower court is being unjust in ordering a survey. The Supreme Court very clearly said there's nothing wrong in trying to ascertain the religious character of a place. There's nothing wrong.
No,
so now,
no
whatever is happening, we're going by the book, we're going by court.
No, the order in the order Supreme Court never said. The Supreme Court never said, please show me from the order where it says
the Supreme
what you
Court,
have just said.
listen to me. Justice Chandrachud, during the hearing, very categorically said there is nothing wrong in trying to ascertain the religious character of a place. So let's not cast aspersions on the lower court. It is equipped. To do its work.
Okay, please give me 10 seconds.
Fine, I agree with you. Tausif. It is not a judgment, but was there a judgment by the Supreme Court on Friday? Was there a judgment by the Supreme Court on Friday? There was no judgment.
Supreme Court passed an order. There is a direction
to carry on the hearing. But whatever Justice Chandrachud said was something that was said by the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court,
or maybe you don't want to adhere to it. It doesn't matter. Karan, it does not matter what Justice Chandrachud said because it's not the order. It's not the order is what Tausif is saying.
Right. Sucharita, they have been trying to stall the proceedings of this survey right from day one. Earlier, they cast aspersions on the commissioner appointed. Then they are going ahead with the order 711. They clearly do not want the truth to come out. Just as in this debate, they are speaking over the other person. They do not want the truth to come out. They have something to hide. And Sucharita, I make a larger point here. This was an excellent opportunity and is still an excellent opportunity to usher in a chapter of Hindu-Muslim unity. Muslims should show magnanimity at this juncture.
Right.
Today, when we have growing irrefutable evidence, there are more than 3 lakh mosques, and a mosque is not an essential part of Islam. The Muslims should show magnanimity.
I can just say one thing, that the order is reserved. The hearing continues. The order is reserved. The hearing continues, but the controversy is not ending. That is for sure. Is what I get from whatever the panelists have been saying. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all I had time for. Thank you so much for joining me on The Burning Question.